She could smell the impala on her mother and knew that there was a stash of fresh food ahead. A mother's bond to her cub is often elastic, especially at this time when she is tied to the survival of her offspring, but starting to feel the tug of becoming a solitary cat again. Although it had been Lakedima herself who had signaled this new era of their lives, she seemed reluctant to leave her mother's protection. All that it now needed was one final push. The smell of blood again. Leopards have a powerful ability to pinpoint the source of the smell as delightful to them as fresh blood or meat that is starting to turn. Slipping back into her role as cub to be provided for, she didn't wait to be invited this time. She didn't know that the rules had changed, that she had changed the rules. The usual suspects were not far off, driven to excitement by the dripping blood, just a leap away from stealing an advantage. Hyenas snapped at them, and Lakedima's decision to move the kill seemed like a good one, but it was nearly double her weight. Uncooperative limbs snagging everywhere. Claws clutched, desperately, frantically. It was a mistake. In leopard terms, maybe one of the worst you can make when frustrated hyenas are just waiting for that familiar thud of wet meat on the ground. Even a pride of lions will think twice about mounting a counterattack against frenzied hyenas, but Lakedima wasn't ready to accept defeat. Perhaps she realized that it was her fault. The low growls from her mother behind her may have spurred her on even more. The lone hunter needs to cut its losses sometimes and stay fit for the next hunt. Lakedima hadn't quite grasped that yet. Her mother, as always, understood perfectly. It was over. But her stiff-legged walk showed her anger. Her hisses rose to a constant growl, like a growing storm. Her exposed fangs were a clear signal that this leopard had been pushed too far. Now her display focused on the root of the problem, her own confused cub, Lakedima. She spat her fury at her daughter, as if she were a lifelong enemy and hated rival. No longer a slayer of baboons or heroic defender against hyenas, Lakedima regressed to submissive displays in a desperate attempt to stop the frenzied wrath of her mother. was an intense moment, so defining a shift that from then on, Lakedima would no longer be her mother's cub. It was over. They both knew it. And that is how her childhood ended. And that is how it is today. As if sensing her vulnerability, there is already an intruder. She's been aware of him for months. A slight pungent scent against a palm tree, the easily followed trail from scent glands in his paws, the odd, unaccounted for warthog kill left half finished in the fork of a tree. Leopards have a way of moulding into the curves of a tree in total comfort. This young male oozes confidence. She's known he would be coming closer sometime, and now he has caught up at last. But his approach is not aggressive. In fact, he takes his time to limber up casually in her territory. It is a display intended for her, to convey his total confidence. It's a mistake, of course. His flaunting moves only attract the attention of the local baboon troop and their meat-eating leader. These baboons have had years of practice harassing leopards. This time, the alpha male doesn't quite get the reaction he's used to. His acrobatic threats start to attract the whole troop now. The battle cry goes out. Leopard. Lakedima has heard these blood-chilling calls before, but always on the receiving end. She has never seen a leopard react with such disdain, with so little fear of her old enemy. And thanks to the years of intimidating Lakedima and her timid mother, their confidence is still running high, for now. Even females and young try their hand at flushing the leopard, but they are met with an unflinching stare from behind ready teeth and a balled-up energy ready to strike. This confidence rattles them. Instead of driving home their attack, they stop short. Any leopard they know would expect to be mobbed and ripped to pieces. But they can sense that this one is a stranger here. There is something unknown and different about his not too veiled threats. As the baboons make a discreet withdrawal, she makes a less discreet approach. It's time to find out about this large, dark-skinned male. Her soft sneezing and coughing is a gentle communication, a tentative introduction, and a test to see if he is friend or foe.